Morning, guys. Happy Monday. It's Coach Fro from RocioFlores.com, and today we're doing our daily life Bible reading. I am reading Job chapter 18 all the way through 19:20. And yeah, so let's get started. I think the reason I broke it down is because, actually, why did I break it down? I don't know, guys. I think we might have to read chapters 18 and 19 all the way through, just to make it make more sense. This is hard to break down because when I broke it down into like verses based on the number of verses, and now I'm looking and I'm like, well, you can't break someone's speech in half. So, all right, I'll just go ahead and start. So now we're having Bildad, which I think was the second guy who talked, the second friend, right? Yes. All right. Let's see what he says today. See if he says anything nice. I already see that I have it highlighted orange. So I don't think there was nice stuff in there. Hello. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just start. It says, Then Bildad the Shuhite replied, How long until you stop talking? Show some sense and then we can talk. Why are we regarded as cattle, as stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself in anger, should the earth be abandoned on your account, or a rock be removed from its place? Yes, the light of the wicked is extinguished. The flame of his fire does not glow. The light in his tent grows dark, and the lamp beside him is put out. His powerful stride is shortened, and his own schemes trip him up. For his own feet lead him into a net, and he strays into the mesh. A trap catches him by the heel. A noose seizes him. I don't know what a noose is. And I'm sorry, I forgot to put my phone on silent. Let me put it on silent now. Hello. So I'm doing my reading right now. I'm on chapter 18, verse 9. I don't know what that word meant, so I'd have to look it up. Hello. So let's see. I'll just keep going, because a lot of this is, again, it's very poetic. It's just sounding pretty, but it's also kind of like saying, just saying stuff. And I'm not sure how to say your name, but I'm doing good. I had a good weekend. How about you guys? How are you doing? I don't think I got much done this weekend, but it was just like a resting weekend, other than shopping, groceries, stuff like that. Went for walks, things like that. It was fun. Overall, a good weekend. We needed I think we've just been so tired, and it's like every week we're getting sick, and then the weekends we're just resting. So hopefully this week is better. Let me know how you guys are. Okay, I'll keep going though. A rope lies hidden for him on the ground, and a snare waits for him along the path. Terror frightens him on every side and harasses him on every step. His strength is depleted. Disaster lies ready for him to stumble. Parts of his skin are eaten away. Death's firstborn consumes his limb. He is ripped from the security of his tent and marched away to the king of terrors. Nothing he owed remains in his tent. Burning sulfur is scattered over his home. His roots below dry up, and his branches above wither away. All memory of him perishes from the earth. He has no name anywhere. He is driven from light to darkness and chased from the inhabited world. He has no children or descendants amongst his people, no survivor where he used to live. Those in the west are appalled at his fate, while those in the east tremble in horror. Indeed, such is the dwelling of the unjust man, and this is the place of the one who does not know God. So all of that sounded really harsh, obviously. I think he was trying to sound harsh. And he's saying that this is what happens to a man who is not good and who does not have a relationship with God. So now we're just going to read Job's reply to him. Because you kind of got to be like, okay, so is he's saying that he's that? I that's what my question is. Because he's saying, he started it with basically telling him shut up, don't you get that? Do you think we're dumb for telling you this stuff? And then he tells them all this. So let's see. Okay, chapter 19. Then Job answered, How long will you torment me and crush me with words? You have humiliated me 10 times now, and you mistreat me without shame. Even if it's true that I have sinned, my mistake concerns only me. If you really want to appear superior to me and would use my disgrace as evidence against me, then understand that it is God who has wronged me and caught me in his net. I cry out, violence but get no response. I call for help, but there is no justice. Well, okay. So right there he's saying, like, he's still standing by, like, I have not done anything wrong. But he's like, even if I did, it's between me and God, not you. So even if had been horrible, his friends are so, they're kind of like not being his friends. They're coming and being like, telling him how horrible he is instead of helping him. One, to actually do better, or they're not giving him any kind of hope that he can do better, that he could change his ways, so that he could turn to God, that he should do this. They're kind of just telling him how horrible everything is, which isn't helpful for anybody, whether they've done something bad or not. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Now he's talking about God. He has blocked my way so that I cannot pass through. He has veiled my path to darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. He tears me down on every side so that I am ruined. He uproots my hope like a tree. His anger burns against me, and he regards me as one of his enemies. His troops advance together. They construct a ramp against me and camp around my tent. He has removed my brothers from me. My acquaintances have abandoned me. My relatives stop coming by. My close friends have forgotten me. My house guests and female servants regard me as a stranger. I am a foreigner in their sight. I call for my servant, but he does not answer, even if I beg him with my own mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife, and my own family finds me repulsive. Even young boys scorn me. When I stand up, they mock me. All of my best friends despise me, and those I love have turned against me. My skin and my flesh cling to my bones. I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Have mercy on me, my friends. Have mercy, for God's hand has struck me. Why do you persecute me as God does? Will you never get enough of my flesh? Sad. So obviously he's going through and saying everything, like, it's kind of like him just saying, like, he's lost everything. He doesn't have anything. All of it's bad. So why are his friends adding to it, right? Like, why are you adding to this pain and all this horrible things that are happening to me, as if what's happening to me isn't already enough? I don't know when he goes through all this and he's just like, he's done all this to me, I don't know if he's seeing that as like God's being bad for doing that to him, or he's just saying that like God's the only one who could have done all these things to me. So, okay, let me keep going. I wish that my words were written down, or that they were recorded on a scroll, or were inscribed in stone forever by an iron stylus and lead. They were. Okay. But I know my living Redeemer, and he will stand on the dust at last. Even after my skin has been destroyed, yet I will see God in my flesh. I remember, I wonder if this was written, anything about that. Yeah, like it says, these are the notes on the side. It says, the translation of this passage is difficult, but most English versions take it as a glimpse into the reality of the resurrection. Commentators who consider Job's hopeful words inconsistent with his feelings expressed elsewhere fail to reckon with his vacillating thoughts throughout the dialogue. His suffering often caused him to expect and desire death, considering it a place of non-existence and no return. Although Job had viewed God as his enemy, for whom he would receive no justice, but only death, yet his faith in God and hope in immortality had surfaced previously. Job's words indicate that God was his Redeemer, whom he would see in some future day after his body was wasted away in death. Job expected to live again bodily, and from the vantage point of his own flesh, behold God. That's interesting. What did I just read? Oh, wait. Lost my line. Okay, he says, I will see him myself. My eyes will look at him and not as a stranger. My heart longs within me. So he had the belief that he was going to see God. So again, I have to go back and read, like, I think there's some, I don't know if that's like something they argue about, but I think that there's a belief, like, people didn't believe in resurrection, afterlife, but then they did. And so then it has to do with the way that we're not at that point yet, but there's parts that are written about, like later on when we have the patriarchs, and the way they talk about them is as if they are alive, not as if they are dead, even though it's been centuries and obviously they're dead. As in, people believed that they existed still with God. That means that people can exist with God. Then again, there is the use of the word Sheol, and then Sheol, which is like kind of like hell. But the way they saw that, like, was more like grave, where like you're dead, you're gone, it's done, versus hell, or like purgatory or heaven, or like outside afterlife. So I think you'd have to look into that. I don't remember exactly which one's correct. I mean, I know what I know now based on like you read the entire Bible and you're like, okay, well this definitely teaches that there is resurrection, that there is an afterlife, that there is something after death, and that death isn't final. So, but looking back, it's kind of hard to see like when did they start believing that, or did they believe it before? So it's kind of interesting. Okay, and then the last little bit says, if you say, how will we pursue him, since the root of the problem lies with him, then be afraid of the sword, because wrath brings punishment by the sword, so that you may know there is judgment. I don't know what that means. By the sword, does he mean like death? Like death is going to come? That's punishment? I don't know. Okay, so tomorrow, so I read all 19. Oops. Tomorrow we'll read chapter 20, because it's 29 verses, so that's a little bit close to the amount that I want to get through. Because then the chapter after that is 34, which is perfect, exactly how much I would like to be around. And then 30, and then that one's longer. Okay, we'll make it work. We're like halfway through this book already. Cool, huh? If you guys are still needing a little bit of a reminder of what the book is about and what the gist of the book is, because obviously if you get the gist of it, the entirety, it's a lot easier to remember like what you're reading. Get like a breakdown of it, go check out the Bible Projects video. It's really cool. It's really simple to it just breaks it down into sections, and it really makes it a little bit easier to know where you're at. But we have more orange stuff coming, meaning that more negative, difficult things to read, which aren't fun, but they're kind of interesting to read. Like you're kind of like, ooh, pretty. It's like death is written in such a pretty way that veiled my path with darkness. So it's like pretty to read, but like obviously when you're like, oh wait, does this apply to me? It's no longer fun. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. I don't know what time it is where you're at. Here where I'm at is 9 o'clock, so it's just the beginning of the day, and I still have the whole week. So I'm going to start planning on my posts for the week so that I can have posts out this week, because I didn't have that many last week because I got behind. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just I hope everyone has a good week. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and yeah.